Hi, and welcome to Paper Route Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I'm starting with a sketch from the 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, Series 18. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be starting with a sketch from Series 18 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. All of the sketches are sent to Christy specifically to be used for the series. If you like to be inspired by sketches, you can find all of the sketches from all 18 series in the albums section of Christy's Facebook group called 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, and you can find the link to that in the description of this video, along with a link to the collaborative playlist where scrappy YouTubers who are using the sketches from the series can add their videos, and viewers like you can watch a variety of interpretations of each sketch. Today is day 8, and our sketch creator is Karin Dahllöf, and you can find Karin on Instagram at kadas_scrapbooking, so KADAS_scrapbooking, and I will have that linked in the description box of this video as well. So let's jump in. My photo today is this photo of a building that was created to look like a crane in an effort to advertise the business, and we passed this on our way through Mount Vernon, Washington, on our way home from Seattle. So I stopped to take a photo, of course, because that's how I roll. And that is what I'm going to be scrapbooking today. So to do that, I went to my little boy stuff and found this little builder collection, and I think it's super cute. They don't have anything that's crane specifically, but I think we'll figure it out. So I think for my background, I am going to pull this sheet of paper. I think it brings in all of the colors, but it's a nice kind of plain background. So that's where we're going to start. I also had like 3 of these, I think, sheets. So there were 2. Yeah, see, this one was from a sale something, but a sale bin of some kind. And then I had also bought the collection kit, so I had extras. So I feel like I could use a whole one as a background and it'll be fine. Okay. What color should I ink in today? I think I'm going to go with black Set Distress ink. And we'll ink around the edges of this sheet of paper to get started. Now, the sketch has 3 photos, but I'm just going to do a single photo. It's also in a rectangular format, which is very interesting. I love this because I think this would be a great sketch for card makers too. So if you're a card maker, this might be what you want to use as your inspiration for a sketch. If you're working in a traveler's notebook or some kind of smaller size, maybe in like 8.5 by 11. I used to scrapbook 8.5 by 11, but pretty much 12 by 12, and then I also do 6 by 8s, but I do the 6 by 8s with the teacher, mostly Vicky Booten, but I've done a couple of others. I don't know, I can't seem to figure that formula out on my own, or maybe it's just too daunting to do a whole album. I'm not really sure. So I'm thinking I'm gonna map my photo on something. The only really thing that I have noticed so far that I'm like, I want to use that is see how they have this little yellow flower in the top corner. I was like, ooh, I like this. And it's from all of these chipboard pieces. I used some on another one of my layouts about a bear. And if you watched that video, you saw them, but they were from like it looked like a paper pad, but it was a chipboard pad. And then I popped all of these things out and just put them with different collections where I thought that they would make sense to my mind, because that's how I scrapbook. So I'm thinking maybe I want one of these cut apart cards to map my photo. I can cut my photo down a little bit on 2 sides. So let's see. Do I want, I'm thinking maybe this blue one or this turquoise one would work too. So I'm just thinking if I cut a 1/4 inch off of my right side and a 1/4 inch off the bottom because it's just the road. Can still see the whole crane. I actually cut off what the crane was holding up, which I think is the propane tank from the building. But anyway, that was just my bad photography. And also feeling pressured because my family was waiting. It's a long drive back from Seattle. Anyway, okay, so there we go. Maybe there, or I could use this 4x6 card as well. I think I like that color better, of course, because it's in the middle, right? So I'll cut that out. Okay, so I'm going to pop that in there. That's going to go on here. I'm going to want to tuck some embellishments in. I do have some other cut apart cards. I like this one. I think I could use that cut apart. You know what I could do too is see these two photos up here is I could replace those photos with some cut aparts. Okay, I did some things. So I printed my journaling. So I think I'm just going to mount it on this yellow cut apart card because I feel like it matches really nice. So I'm just going to ink around the edges here. And then I want to ink this one because I think this one's going to go well. It's the same colors as our green building. So we have a photo and journaling. We need a title. So my title choice was creative advertising because that's what I think is happening here. And yes, I went and picked out the letters to make sure I had what I needed so I wasn't driving you guys crazy looking for my letters. And I am doing mixed font because it's suggested in the sketch and I love the idea. So I'm doing this black font and this, so this is like a black puffy. I think I'm gonna have to move this way over because I don't like it on top of that caution tape. It doesn't look quite right to me. And then creative, I got these blue doodlebug alphas. I love these things. You know, when they came out and I looked at the whole shelf and I was like, I want to buy one in every color. I should have just done it. I should have just bought them in every color because now I feel like I look for them everywhere and they're not as readily available. Anyway, I'll straighten those out and glue them down because puffy stickers tend to fall off. All right, and then I love these other two big. So it was like a stop because we stopped to take pictures. And then I like this red circle as well. And then my 3 chipboard pieces kind of represent where I'm going to embellish, right? So then I also went through my embellishment pack and pulled out the things, not necessarily that are going to go on this layout, but the things that I think could potentially go on the layout. So these arrows are all actually cut out of the cut apart cards. So I did a couple of them. So there's some that are in there twice. These are scraps, but I feel like they could potentially be part of this. There's little arrow or chevron pieces in the sketch too. So that made me feel like it might be able to work out. So then I have this piece, which is kind of like crane-ish. And I thought maybe it could go in here somewhere. And then I have this piece that I really like too, but I was thinking it could go maybe here and I could lift or I could slide this down. One of the two. Yeah, see, I think I might move all of that up. I don't know yet. I like this too. It's got some good coloring in there. There's this little crane piece too that I thought I could get on here somewhere, maybe. And then I thought maybe a couple of these arrow pieces, but I'm not sure which. But this has, you can't really see it very well from there, but do you see these like arrow, I think they're like stamped maybe, or like a fabric, I'm not really sure. Fiber is what I meant. But I thought maybe I could grab a couple of these because green is in here, but it's not a really prominent color, but maybe I could grab one of those and maybe put one down here as well. I'm not sure. Something like that. And then this is like fussy cut out of one of the cut apart cards too, but I feel like I already have that element on here, so I'm going to pass on that one. Adventure Maker. Doesn't really go with my story. Under construction, we could put that on there too. Maybe. That's a maybe. Okay. And then I have these two. These are ancient stickers, but anyways, they've been popped around to a bunch of different kits and stuff, like collection kits. And as I've used them up, I've kind of like cut down the sticker sheet, but they're clear stickers, so I have a little harder time using those. But I was thinking it might be cool to put them on this blank like road sign piece, kind of like they're holding the banner to the page, if that makes sense. There we go. Used that up, didn't I? Yay! Okay, and then I also have this sticker sheet. So let's see. I kind of like this actually better than this piece. So maybe I'll put that down there instead. Okay, so I tacked everything down. I shifted everything a little bit up towards the top of the page. I felt like it was a little bit too low. Once I got everything where I wanted it, I put away all of the pieces that I didn't end up using. And then I went looking for somewhere to stamp my date, and I found this little label. And then I also found these gears that I must have stamped for something else, and then they just ended up in my color bins. So I was like, I want to add those to my layout. They're cute. So they're going to go on here also. And I think I'm just going to put one, maybe I'll tuck it under here, like that. And then I think I'm going to put one by my journaling up here. There we go. And then I'm going to stamp my date. And I need to decide if I want to tuck this like under the sticker. There we go. So now we have our photo, journaling, title, and date, and our embellishments. We just need our finishing touches. So it looks like we have a little embellishment cluster here, just what we did. And then we have our title here, journaling in the same place. And we did use mixed fonts, just like it says. And then we have, we only used one photo, but that worked out okay to fit the journaling in. And then cluster. So I did one here, one here. Has these little arrow bits. I got some arrows on, some triangle chevron-y bits. I got those on. And flowers didn't really fit, but I think the general idea is to embellish, right? So I think that's okay. So I grabbed these. They're called Primary Assortment Sprinkles from Doodlebug. And I thought they went really well with this particular collection. I might even throw them in the kit when I put it back because they seem to go really well. And I think I want to do a little cluster of enamels up here. So there we are. So this is the completed layout for today, and I hope you are feeling inspired. There will be a close-up shot of the layout and a couple of detail shots at the end of the video that you can have a closer look at. And I also post my layouts on Instagram, so if you want to pop over there and see other layouts I've made, feel free. The link will be in the description box of this video. A big thank you to Christy for putting on yet another series of 30 Days of Sketches, and to our sketch creator today, who is Karin Dahllöf. And remember to go to Karin's Instagram and check out her creations. And if you are here from the 30 Days of Sketches playlist, thank you so much for spending time on my channel, and I hope you enjoyed the video and will come back again another time. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. Have a great day. Bye for now.